a story about a rancher. Yeah. You know how kind of like remember the story about Lavoy Finicum? Yeah, we all know the story about Lavoy Finicum. He was a rancher out of Oregon. People were harassing and stalking him. Yeah, Lavoy Finicum was shot in the back. He was shot in the back. We got a story right here about a black rancher getting terrorized and harassed by extremists, lefty, by right and by anybody, the cops right here. Check it out. Exclusive. Black ranchers terrorized by racists and the cops. Black Colorado ranchers terrorized, yeah. And that's exactly what happened with Lavoy Finicum. He was terrorized. He was stalked and harassed before being shot in the back. So yeah, when I saw this, I said, this reminds me quite a bit like Lavoy Finicum.
Colorado are being treated unfairly, harassed, and this. Here it is.
I'd like to say thank you, world, for sticking in there with me. The fight is not over. I've been informed this morning by a fellow service member that the police were called on us 5 times this past weekend for doing work on our land, performing while black.
That's what happened to Lavoy Finicum.
That's not a crime. Elijah McClain would still be alive to this day if it wasn't for somebody calling and saying that a black man is walking down the street. That's not a crime. None of that is a crime. Farming while on your own land is not a crime.
Exactly.
The people that were out here this past weekend didn't deserve to be tormented and harassed.
Yeah, exactly. I was sitting there saying Lavoy Finicum didn't deserve to be harassed and terrorized and stalked. Lavoy Finicum was just a freaking rancher trying to grow his own crops out there in his own land. People were terrorized like that. Then you had somebody had enough balls out there to shoot Lavoy Finicum in the back. Guy was unarmed, just like this rancher.
Harassed by Gerhardt's goons. I guess I'm finna be facing charges. New charges are finna be coming down the pipeline on me for being on my own land.
Or you get somebody who's gonna pull a braze and shoot this rancher in the back like they did Lavoy Finicum.
World, I'm asking that y'all come out in full force on 2/17/23 to the Denver Capitol. And we state our claim that the Karen Act be passed and put into law that make it a crime, a hate crime, to weaponize the police against people of color.
I bet you 10 to 1. As soon as I drop this video up, I'm gonna title it what it is, and I'm gonna call this Black Ranchers Terrorized by Racists and Police like Lavoy Finicum did or was. I was like Lavoy Finicum was. And I bet you 10 to 1, as soon as this video's drop and the title comes out like that, I bet you a fellow cuck in the splooge crew are gonna get all pissed off. They're gonna fucking rant Sky's chat for about 3-4 fucking hours. Oh, Siemens on the video about the Brown Rancher. He's talking about Lavoy Finicum. You know what the fuck he's talking about? Nope. Yeah, okay.
That is Mr. Mallory.
Mr. Mallory.
Mallory was arrested for felony stalking. All right? He was arrested on Monday, February 6th. And the bond was set at $6,000. Let's go to the next video.
Here we go.
Please make the call. Gerhardt's goons are at it again. Gerhardt's goons are at it again. Farming while black in America. There's Deputy Hancock there with El Paso County Sheriff's Department. That's the vehicle 8306. He has not provided any information as to whether there's anyone else in the vehicle at this time. State Patrol appears to be... Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. We're still live here, world. Yeah. We're still live. Flood the lines of the Sheriff's Department. Gerhardt and his goons must be fired. He needs a lie detector test. Let your followers know how you're doing right now.
I'm not well.
Okay.
This is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the hate crimes and the false accusations that Officer Gerhardt makes.
That's right.
And it just so happened one of his goons are here, Hancock.
Hancock is one of his goons? Okay.
He's part of
but
the
Cantrell is going to take care of you, correct? You'll be in your care the entire time.
I'll be the only one.
Only one. You hear that, America? Courtney Wayne Mallory better come out of this unharmed. It's Black History Month and we still working.
Put up Courtney and Nicole.
Courtney
Courtney and Cole Mallory, they spent their savings to buy 1,000 acres of fertile ranch land in eastern El Paso County in a predominantly white and predominantly conservative community. Despite leaving the city to start their agricultural career and enjoy success during the pandemic, they also helped feed people. The good folks. They got hearts. But some white neighbors haven't smiled on their fortune since they raised a Black Lives Matter flag over their property, along with a Marine flag and a Christian flag.
That's crazy. People are gonna white people are gonna go crazy. Like, I mean, how many times I ride the bus and you see signs all over on buildings, houses, businesses, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, I seen I saw one the other day said Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Murder. Oh yeah, there you go. I saw a good one. It said defund the police. So disarm the NRA, defend the media. Yeah. And that was a good one.
They say locals have terrorized them, their fences and property vandalized, spray painting the N-word. Their animals have been killed and mutilated. They say someone even poisoned their dog. We can't show all the photos of their maimed animals because...
that's what I heard about how bad Lavoy Finicum was. He was just simply a rancher out there, but you had these Proud Boys, Antifa, right-wingers. They were surrounding like that, and someone decided to take their own justice on their hand and to shoot Lavoy Finicum in the back. And Lavoy Finicum was not harming anybody. He was just he just had a big piece of property, growing crop and whatnot.
They are too graphic, but we can show you these. Then a farmhand, Don Amaya, who stayed on the Mallory Ranch, was murdered in May 2021.
Wow.
Courtney Mallory told the Ark Republic that he was shot in the back of the head in a chicken coop.
Oh my! Did you hear that? Back of the head. Kind of like Lavoy Finicum. Oh my.
Found with his pants down.
Wow.
Courtney Mallory also said he thought the killer likely mistook the worker for himself. Here is what Nicole Mallory told the Ark Republic about the killing on her property. A direct quote says, Don's murder was a clear message. It was gruesome. It was heinous, the way he was murdered. The police haven't given us any information. Let's put up the reporter who broke this story. Remarkable individual. Dr. Kai Niambi Shivers.
Kai Niambi Shiver.
Ms. Shivers is also an NYU professor and veteran journalist in the black press. She also founded the Ark Republic. Direct quote. After I put the articles out, Mr. Mallory said they weren't sleeping. And Nicole Mallory said at that point, there was this slow procession of random white people slowly rolling by their property, which as a black person, or if you know African-American history, that's one of the strategies of intimidation that is used to say, I'm watching you. Here is a photo of one of those white neighbors, according to the report, trying to intimidate Mallory. Since criticizing the sheriff's or the sheriff's department for inaction on the killing of Amaya, the Mallory say they have also been harassed by a sheriff's deputy or deputies led by Deputy Emery Ray Gerhardt. They said Courtney Mallory's arrest on Monday is part of the sheriff's deputy's harassment campaign. Let's put the picture up of the El Paso County Sheriff, Joseph Roybal. His office issued this statement in response to the publicity around the case. Put that statement up. It reads in part, Within the last 2 years and through the end of January 2023, the El Paso County Sheriff's has investigated 19 different complaints filed by and or involving the individuals identified in the article against members of the Sheriff's Office. Each of these complaints were individually and thoroughly investigated. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office has also responded to over 170 calls for service that involve the individuals identified in the article. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office will provide the public with the legally releasable documents and records related to these complaints. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office believes that this information will prove that it and its employees acted in an appropriate and professional manner in all their interactions with the individuals who are the subject of the article. Indisputable has requested the records. The sheriff says he will release. We will bring you that update as soon as we get it, all right? A GoFundMe, let's put it up.
Check out the GoFundMe. Here it is.
To finance a tighter security system around the Mallory's property. It's called Deputy Leading Assault to Steal Black Farmland. If you feel the unction, make sure you support that GoFundMe. The Mallory's also encourage supporters to join the protest at the Colorado Capitol in Denver on the 17th of February to make racially motivated police calls a crime in support of a measure called the Karen Act. Now remember what's happening. People are simply in the community calling the police to get them out of the community, okay? Legislation would help, but the irony is it is already against the law to misuse 911. If they don't want to enforce it in the current state of the statute, they won't enforce it when they pass the Karen law. They also want to let people know if you're interested in buying any of their meat products, you can email them at freedomacres1@gmail.com. freedomacres1@gmail.com. Okay, so long story, a lot of twists and turns. Bottom line is Jim Crow, yes, on steroids, perhaps. Remember, a man is murdered. According to the victims of all of this assault and attack and surveillance, that murder may have been meant for the actual black male who continues to be harassed. All right, this is such a horrible reality in America, but what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's truly heartbreaking and outrageous. And I'll just say, I think it's just more evidence that the American dream does not exist for Black people in America, because these institutions like the institution of policing and these racist communities will not allow for it to happen. What we have here is the Mallory family who saved up for their dream to own this farmland, you know, to have this life that they've envisioned for themselves. And the community, the predominantly white racist community, the racist institution of policing in Colorado Springs, in that county, is not allowing that to happen. And I mean, there's not a single document, I think, that police department could release to show that their officers are just doing their jobs. When a murder happened, a man was murdered on this property, and have they found the killer? No.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, a man was murdered, but you got the cops that, but they're arresting a rancher who did nothing wrong. But a co-rancher was murdered, execution style. He was shot, just like Lavoy Finicum was shot as well.
What they're doing is they're wasting their time arresting Courtney Mallory on just BS charges and continuing the harassment against this family. It's absolutely disgusting. I hope the viewers are able to support with the GoFundMe, or if they're in Colorado, they're able to get to the Capitol to support the protest that the family, is supporting. But I mean, at the end of the day, what we're seeing here is just that, white Americans and Black Americans are living in two very different realities that's supported by, institutions, but also by individuals, because this is a racist community coming together to harass this family and, try to ruin their lives. It's horrifying. It's racist. And it's just downright disgusting.
We're not the court of law, but we are the court of public opinion.
Yep.
we can be effective by shining light
Mm-hmm.
at darkness. Dr. King taught us that. This light will continue to shine. Transparency has a way of eliminating darkness, right?
You know, it's like, we're a court of opinion. It's called, when I do stories like this, any kind of story, whether it's about bad cops or, a good story like this, it's called spreading awareness. And it's also about, holding officials and people that are doing, we live in the United States, it's cold, home of the brave, land of the free. Well, it doesn't seem like that. Not when you got right wingers, fascists, racist people and bigots out there. I mean, it's crazy out there. It's about accountability and transparency as well, too. That's it. I'm out here, my chop. Peace out.